seen a gym erase their lineage so quickly. Good words coming up soon.
I want to know where Tom's at.
Yeah, where's Tom at in this equation? I know what they're doing. They're positioning themselves to go into money burger.
Money burger beats you.
Inside. Outside. And out. Back to the jump. Walk it out. All right, guys, grab a partner. Mount escapes.
Mount escapes.
Same as always, everybody should know. No resistance unless you want it. I'm not gonna let you get rid of it. Unethical escapes. No unethical escapes, CJ. Those are crimes against humanity.
Stop giving me wet willies. That's not an effective escape.
With a little chin shimmy. Coach Eric was teaching us the other day. What's another one?
Is it low to keep your legs? Is this even mount or is this just sitting on your legs?
Probably favorite one. Because they always just like sit on my shoulders.
I did not learn this at the seminar. I learned this by watching Titanic. Look at this. This is my Titanic mount, so you can't wrap your legs around my legs. Ready, go.
Everybody's so big. So we should do that.
You're not close. Okay. That's good. So let me give you some resistance. Just stand up, everybody. Just stand up. How you doing? All right, guys. The other round. All right. So, I had the privilege of going to the 2-day Half and Henzo seminar this weekend. One of my bucket lists was to hear a Henzo story in person. It was fulfilled many times over. He can't help himself but tell stories. Everything's a story. It's an amazing experience. If you ever get a chance to go to a Henzo seminar, go. If nothing else, just for the experience. They didn't teach groundbreaking new techniques. They taught a bunch of goonjutsu from back in the days. Heavy pressure stuff. Neck was a little sore from all the things they do, where we don't usually do cranks so much. They encourage them. So that's why, you know, they are who they are. They do a little bit of everything. So, so today, and it was 3 hours each day. So some seminars you go to, it's like an hour, hour and a half. I mean, maybe 2 hours. Each day was 3 hours of technique where I didn't video the first day to my regret because I was in the moment learning. And then I had to think about it yesterday of every technique they showed, and I was able to recall it, type the details out. But I did record the second day for Noki. They would bounce back and forth how to do it. They would bounce back and forth teaching lessons. So the stuff that they taught was really good. Like I said, it wasn't like super groundbreaking. You're not going to get a bunch of flipping upside down type stuff, but you're going to get some things that really work. So we're going to do a couple things today. One of those is going to be from the Breadcutter. It's a variation. He told a story where, and this was awesome to hear this from someone like Enzo. He said, listen to everybody. They're white belt, they're blue belt, doesn't matter. They come to you and say, let me show you something. Don't be full of pride where you're like, no. He said, because we learned a lot of things from white belts and people figuring things out over years. And this was one of them. He was an older guy. He said everybody dismissed him in class because he was older, not very strong, he couldn't beat everybody. But he would come up with new things. He says, and can I show you this? He says, yeah. So it's a variation grip from the Breadcutter that makes the Breadcutter 1,000 times more powerful, even to the point where if you put your hand in to block it, it doesn't matter. It is a little bit technical to get there, but once you get it, once you feel it, that grip that you get, you're gonna go, oh, this feels nice. This is a powerful grip. So let me already see you real quick. Well, thank you. So, guys, the Breadcutter is like this. A lot of times what you do is you end up getting this hand, and the hand is gonna be, I'm gonna call it the hip side hand, goes underneath, you'll sit it this way, and it grabs 4 fingers in. That's the start to the breadcutter. And what you do is you get underneath and you grab this. You'll start to move this way, and your hope is that he moves his arm. You come back, that arm is trapped. You put your thumb in, dropping your elbow to the mat, and you turn and look at his hips, and you'll finish. Even with this arm here, what we're gonna do is we're in this position, but what we're not gonna do, we're not gonna get that different grip, and I'm gonna have to show you here in a second. What we're gonna do is this. I'm gonna bring this over, put my wrist down. And what this does is opens the collarbone. I'm gonna take my hand and lift his head. You guys might want to look around to see this. I'm gonna take my hand, I'm gonna slide my 4 fingers into the collar with my thumb up. Now when I'm here, when I bring it back, it's already like this. Before we were here, if you'll notice the difference in how the collar gets twisted. You make the space, you rotate this, thumb up, 4 fingers in and out. You see how the collar's being pulled? Completely tight. Come here, and I have this. Let's say he puts his hand in and block in your hand. Yeah, boom, right there. We bring it around, and we bring it in. Even if he keeps his fingers there, it's gonna crush his hand. Doesn't matter. Your traditional, safe, it's not gonna be safe. It takes so much slack out. And that grip, because before you're here, hooking these fingers on the back of the collar, now you've twisted it, you've got it here. And it's so strong that you're just kind of like, yes, question.
Could you do like a no-gi grip where you just get the Americana grip, do the same thing? Is that a different variation of it?
What's your,
So last time I came in, I got something similar to where I had the underhook like around their head, and then I just grabbed my own arm and then did the same thing. Is that a similar principle without using the collar?
oh, did you grab like this or like this?
Like this?
So you went over and just gave your.
Yeah. So instead of just switching the grip from the collar to this, I just came up and grabbed my own wrist and then clamped down.
From here,
Yes.
like this?
Yes. And then I threw the forearm over to his throat and then just started clamping.
And you started to come in, so you brought your forearm in like that, kind of. So you had your hand on your own forearm?
I did.
Okay. So that's like a no-gi, or it's like a baseball bat choke.
Okay,
A no-gi baseball bat choke, that's good. Problem with that is, and I'm not gonna say it's a problem, it's just the opening is, you're not connected to. 2 things. 1, chokes in the gi that don't include the collar tend to get stymied, not stopped, but stymied by the punching up of the collar. So that can be an issue that you'll run into. Also, you're not connected to him, so as he begins to move and get away, you're not locked in with him. That's the benefit of the gi. So I encourage when you're in the gi, use the gi. Because you can get these finishes, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you not to do it. And that's a very good no-gi submission. Because what happens, that's why you'll rarely ever see me put a head and arm choke on in the gi. Because when the person comes up like this, look at all this material I have to go through. It's a buffer to block off the arteries and the vessels from being absolutely compressed. So some things I will do in the gi, some things I won't, but use it, try it. That's effective. It's something that would work, especially if your arms are long enough and you have the dexterity in your elbows and shoulders to do it. It'll work. The only problem I would say is you got 2 factors. The gi bunching up might stop it, okay? And then also you're not connected to them in the gi, so if you get a delay in the choke, that gives them more time to get out. And if they get out, they're gonna get it. So also in the gi, you don't have connection to his body. He can grab your gi sleeve and start pushing you away. Versus wrist, no, you can't. You have to get a wrist around something, right? So one more time, we're here. We're going in for the setup, and this is. You've already got this grip. We're coming here, so we're gonna move 45 degrees. And we're gonna push this down. This hand needs to pick the head up, because if he knows about this and he doesn't want this to become a thing, he'll put his head down. You lift his head up, circling your hand in, thumb up, and you grab this grip. This hand never leaves, never lets go. You keep it. And we're gonna lean in, so we turn this, and we start to come down. You can already tell, so what we'll do is we'll do the first variation, which is traditional. Grab the back, grab the far side, elbow, bring your elbow to their shoulder, down to the ground. You're gonna turn and face their hips and let your weight come in. If you still don't have it, if you're training with someone who's got a slender neck or is very durable, once you get to that position where your hips are facing, if you're here and they still haven't been submitted, start to elevate your elbow next to their head, start to turn their head off center line. If at that point you haven't gotten a submission, just shoot them or saddle. You're not getting that shit. They're either super resilient or your grips are too loose. Tighten everything up a little bit, try a little tighter. But if at that point that person's not being submitted, I mean, you can lean your whole body weight into that. That's the beautiful part is you can build it. Boom. Then I'm gonna go around and help you guys out. We'll do the second variation. The hardest part of the second variation is getting used to taking your hand and putting it inside that collar. It's a weird way if you've ever done Breadcutters before. What's the difference? But it actually, you'll see what I'm saying. Once you get that grip, you feel very solid in that grip. Any questions?
You're still clearing the arm, right? You're not clearing, you're keeping the arm in there?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
It didn't matter when we were doing it. I was like, so do I need to clear? You know, because in the traditional Breadcutter, you have to clear this near side arm. You walk north-south so that that arm comes out, and then you can fall back on it because they can come back in for defense. Well, the defense, yeah. If he puts up a hand to stop the defense of it, to bring his arm across to keep me from coming in, that the hands, if you notice, were almost touching. They're almost together. As before, this is back here, this is over here, there's play. You can lift your arm and move it. When the hands are almost touching, I don't have to bring it all the way to the shoulder. I can bring it halfway to the shoulder, just kind of lean in and it'll do it. So, any questions? 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be near the arm that's by the hips as you're staring at your training partner, and the arm that's by the hips goes under their body and puts the 4 fingers in behind the collar. So it's going to be 4 fingers in behind the collar. No, in front. So bring it near his hips. Go under. Bring it to his hips. Other side hip, closer. Now go under his body and grab the back of that lapel. And you want it in the center of his neck. So here's the way you would get there, right? So side control, get regular side control. Okay. Bring your knees in heavy. Pull your left arm back to the near side hip. Now lean forward, put your shoulder pressure on his neck. Lean hard, shoulder pressure on neck and face. Lean him hard. You're taking your right arm and lifting your elbow and leaning. No. Like this. Yes. Yes. Now slide your arm and get that collar. Yep. And then just bring it around the front of the neck. Thumb in. Thumb in as deep as you can. Then elbow to the shoulder. Elbow to the mat. Turn your hips and face his hips. And look at his hips. Dropping your elbow to the mat. Keep going. Shoulders heavy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right here, she's supposed to.
All right, so to get here, let's start a regular cycle. So, no. Come here. Get around his head. Lean your shoulder into his neck as far as you can. Turn him up on his side. Now bring that underneath. Now your 4 fingers in your thumb comes in very deep as you can. Now normally you would have to clear his face, but we're just going to do this right here. So now what you're going to do is face his hips. And you're going to bring this elbow to the mat here again. You're going to turn your hips and face his hips. Top of your shoulder and shoulder in, everything comes in here. Look at his hips. And lean in on it. Somebody chose. This is good stuff. Somebody called it. The other one is different, so get your 4 fingers in. Put your hand here. Now, what you're gonna do is push this to the mat. Walk this way with you. You're gonna take your one thing is head, you're gonna feed this to yourself. Pull it up. And 4 fingers in. One side grip. Yeah, exactly. That was strong. No. Thumb stays here. And then you go down a little more. Now, from here, in reality, never let go. Now bring it to his chest. And then just sink your chest. A lot stronger, a lot faster.
You can go right here, pull the key.
Yeah.
You gonna try it in?
Start. Second. First one still. Thumb in. Thumb in. Always thumb in. Pick up a bread slicer down. So you want your forearm to be the way. Drop your elbow to the mat. Drop your hip to the mat. Back step with your top leg. Now his hip. Put out everything. So look at that. Did you want to try the second one? You're here in the position. So put your hand right next to each other. And what I want you to do is walk to 45 degrees. Turn just 45 degrees. Now open this up and put your hand on the mat. Take your other hand and cup the back of his hand. Put your 4 fingers in. Thumb is out. How strong is that grip? Very easy. See what I'm saying? It feels like a monster. Now, don't let go. Slide if you need, but bring this to his chest. Lift your chin before we go down. Let your teeth get messed up.
Yeah, I was about to say that was something maybe.
And then bring it in and put the chest behind it and just start. How'd that feel? A lot tighter. Yeah. If you have to clear it if you need. If not, so you can still finish. It's which one is better? You'll see. Start the regular cycle.
Yeah, that's what they
Get a deep shoulder grip on this, like shoulder pressure. Bring your hand here, shoulder pressure. Hand comes to the armpit. Your right hand goes to the armpit. What I want you to do is this. I want you to lean her up this way. Now, lean her all the way up onto her shoulder like you're trying to lean.
Yes, I think you
Take
can
your
get it
left
down
hand by
too
the
far.
hips, around behind and get that comfortable. Now, you can take this out and around without letting go. Can you circle around? Now, if you can, the back of the so here's what I want you to do. This has to come out. So even if you don't do that, it ain't easy. Now what I want you to do.
You might, this is something bigger.
45. And I want you to go arms. Let her go back. Now, this other hand is going to do it. Now you're going to place your 4 fingers. It's the opposite. So this is the arm that goes under his thumb.
You get a thumb in your shoulder, so you could have the 4 fingers like this.
Feel this. Have the neck and have a smile on your face. This makes you feel like you're about to kill someone. Drop his hand down a little bit if you can. Slide it down. Okay. Bring this elbow to her shoulder. Square yourself up. Finish the breadcutter. Let your chest drop in behind that. Just in a better position. Start from the top. Back. Don't feel it. Just turn. How did that feel? What was that grip? You get that too. You ever got the grip? You were just this grip is strong. This one means you're so start breaking. So that's what I want you to do. Is a lot more control rather than more control. That's where lean this. Right. You're coming here. Take your left hand and go around underneath and get that regular breath. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to
the wood and put my head in this hole.
This way, I gotta know, I had my hand on.
Once you have that,
Right.
What you're doing is
Lace your arm. So once you get your laces on, I'll show you. Nice. Yeah, yeah, that's right. One thing, you got to pressure. The hand is
Like lift their head up.
Easy to get down.
There you go. That's interesting.
when we do it, are you allowed to that arm that's coming over and hitting the collar of the hat?
Turn and face. Turn and face.
Here.
I just want that.
You could
So when you this one, looks up whatever it is, that's what it's called,
When you're here,
And then we're doing this one going down. This one we're not supposed to let go of.
so if I'm doing more powerful, all I'm doing is opening this up while I work this hand to here and keeping their head off the ground. Thumb out, fingers in. And now all this elbow has to go on the chin and sit down.
outside of the gi,
So you don't let go. You wouldn't let go of this.
I want this hand to come as far around as possible, and I want them to be together.
close together.
As close together as possible.
Yeah, because that's so we all want. So what you have like is you have to understand that your heels go. Your hands are so close together. Go like that. This is okay. You can't mess it up. Don't get me wrong. Do the technique right. Get this.
Dude, if you get that and it doesn't work, you need to just listen. Because that person is a big person.
My first day in here.
Get your hand.
My first day in here, I had like a baseball bat choke, and I didn't know how to like protect my neck at all, because it was just fully exposed. And I was like, man, I can't swallow, like, something feels weird. So I was walking out to my car, and I pinched my throat, and it was like wax paper, like parchment paper. It was like, it cracked back out. And I was like, oh, am I hurt? Like, it didn't hurt, it just felt weird. And I was like, am I gonna bleed out or something? I was like, get in the car.
Anything below the eyes and choke, bro.
Here, I've had it's on the opposite side of the head. So, right here. Push this to the max. I lift the head, and then I like, he didn't say this, but I like to slap my back of my hands on it.
Straight.
Feed it.
Yeah, like nice.
And I'm still here, and just let go.
Keep the chest, pressure on my chest. And then you can just send your other arm so straight out.
That was like one of the first ones.
You can just drag your shirt.
I can show you the rest that I take out. It's probably like
You see how that feels like a lot more? You can just post up and now you just send it. So that's real quick.
No worries. You guys good? Any questions? How'd that grip feel when you got it? Here now? Yeah,
Guys, listen, that grip, we were talking, that grip, when you get there, they throw their hand into it, here puts their hand into the pin when it's Breadcutter there. Okay? It's not gonna help you with that grip. That grip, don't even have to do all of the hip switching and looking at the hips. Once you get that grip, your hands are together here. They're here. You just pull this up into your lap. And then you're gonna choke. I loosened it up and I said, all right, Janae, get out. As she was fighting to get away, she was choking herself with the grip. So the grip itself is so tight, and this is so powerful. You're here. Traditionally, you're here. See the difference? All that collar space for flexibility, laxity, moving, throwing hands in, and I gotta try to do this. You see what I'm saying? Hands are almost together. All right. One of the other ones that we had was from Turtle. And so, let me reach back. See if we get Turtle like this face now. Good that. So we're here in the Turtle, okay? Now, we're gonna take this hand, we're gonna put the hip side in. We're gonna go underneath and get 4 fingers in. Okay? We come underneath, and we get here, body here, and we hold this, putting our pressure. We're gonna retract our lapel here. Now, depending on who you like more, Enzo or House, it's gonna depend on how your grip goes, because they each spot it different. So you're here. This is the tricky part. The 4 fingers come out. Here. And you get this. Now, you saw him lift his hips. He's thinking, Coach, I would just somersault over you.
Yes.
Yes. That's the best part about those guys. They were like, you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna do this. And then I'm gonna do this, okay? I'm in here with my 4 fingers, I grab this. Now guys, the trick is you get this out. Enzo taught this, Al taught this. Here's the final. When you give it to yourself, you're here, no space between these. Okay? You get this here. You take this over so he doesn't see the little bit. You probably heard it coming out, but you can't see it. We push. Hand comes out, I hand it. Sliding. Not letting go and re-grab. Sliding. I'm now going to switch my hips. Elbow, forearm to the shoulder, and I begin to go this way. He lifts up, he jumps. Keep going. Jumping is a temporary release. He feels he's going somewhere. CJ's dynamic, he came back up to his knees. You go right back to the position. If they jump over and fall on their back, you just keep turning it and rotating towards them. That works. Agree, Eli? Over here. I grab the 4 fingers just to hold in here. I pull this out. I grab this far tricep. I like to put my shoulder in there so I get my hand free by his neck. I give him this right here. This hand, you have to have thumb in. This is why House does this. Enzo does this. Enzo does this, and then he switches. You can still get it like this. Enzo was getting just like that just as easy. But the natural sensation is this. Because then it slides, drops. And boom. Slide this back, elbow comes to the shoulder. You can crank it if you need to. Once you're here, you're going to drop your shoulder in and get that. If they get dynamic, start trying to jump and move, stay with your pressure. As he goes over, keep rolling. This time, over there, I want you to jump over. Here. Jump over. Keep it tight. Turn it.
Super solid, you can stay on anyway.
It is, the part that I find the hardest is the 4 fingers in the collar and then getting that out and around by the head. Okay? Because it's just one of those things. So maybe, it's also because your arm might not be long enough to reach out, but if your arm is long enough, one, this keeps him here, but I'm not in any real danger. I've got him locked. And this keeps me safe from here. If you can get your shoulder in like this, maybe do this. And they'll have it like this. He brings it in the front. And when he brings it in the front, he brings his forearm here. Myself personally, I'm more of a half guy in this case because I like this. So it's more natural. Any questions? Also, from that position of grabbing the head like that, it's going to be difficult, guys, to get your arm all the way through up to the back of their head. Somebody in turtles is not usually going to let your arm get head. If they do, you also have, and they didn't show this, but if I can get here, I can just rotate it. It's more like a wrestling thing. Come back up. I've never in my life seen anybody allow me to keep all of this. So the reason the turtle is there is to keep it fixing. So if you can get to here, that's good. And then you're gonna reach across. Now, don't bring it like this, where he feels all that and starts grabbing. You're gonna come out, over to the tricep. Once you have the tricep, I would say start to retract your hand from the lapel and push and get this up. Then you can come here. When they jump over, get in turn. Put your helmet back. I want you to jump over like I'm there. Just headstand and jump over. Okay. When they headstand and jump over, they're not going to be able to really work on their neck, right? So a lot of times they jump, their body extends. What happens when the body extends? Chin goes up. So if you don't quite have it then, be patient. As they jump, it'll sink in. And then you finish. It's tough to keep, it's tough to do this. And keep your chin tucked because your body can't leave the ground. You have to lift your body separate from your chin in order to jump through. Those are extra details. Any questions? All right, guys, let's keep it. 1, 2. So don't leave this side, stay your knee. Just grab the back of the tricep with that. Just pull it back. Grab his through right here. So you're gonna reach up and grab his tricep. And then I grab it. Push it on the side first. Keep that. This right here. The right hand in his collar. Okay, so for this one, use that. Chin is more on the chest. Back up a little bit. So now, then I just relax that arm and keep it here. Now here and down there. You put your hand, your thumb up like her neck. And then wait, then make sure you get that further. Just hand you line it back just a little bit. Take your arm and stand by her neck. Switch her hips. Drop your elbows together. Start to relax together. There you go. If she jumps over, keep it. Oh, if she jumps over, keep it. Just very tight together. Okay, watch the video. It's hard to edit too, but it's I wouldn't go just another whole line. Yeah.
Pressure. Now, slide this over. Hand out. And your hand in the bottom. But I want to be now. This is the Henzo way. I like that house. It's up to you. If you do this, you're gonna have to go like that. Put your elbow. See how that feels a little odd? So when you hand it to yourself, finish this. You have to hand like that. And turn it. Some guys try all. Here, keep going. As long as keep turning, belly down, keep going, keep going. See how she had all that space? You're going to look here, but it's going to be in a second. So when you grab it, grab it.
I got my double grips on there.
Grab it one more time. See, so
What?
that's the natural way. When this lapel out, they're like this. And feel it is just, we always have the grips. And then you're bringing how it brings it out and keeps it like this so that you hand it to yourself. So you have it, switch that. That's how, this is how you're gonna grab it out of here. Just coming through, give it a little bit of a match. Yeah. Here, try to get here. Now, reach over, reach over, grab that tricep, pull, get her broke down, get the hand out.
This elbow needs to go down.
CJ, never let go. Now, hips to her, drop that elbow in. She comes up to jump over, keep following, keep following, keep following, belly down, belly down, belly down, belly down, belly down.
So like just not across the shoulder.
There's that.
There you go.
Yep. As soon as you turn, see,
It was, no, it was, what, at first, and then it turned right over here. Once you turn,
come back. Hit it. Remember, this would be like your elbow, pulling this out like this, so that we can hand it. Okay. Now, that hand goes 4 fingers in. Don't go deep into the collar. Don't go deep. Nope. Switch. Listen. It's this hand. Not deep. Just there. Pull your lapel out. Switch that hand. Calm down. Nice. Bring it over his head and just grab it. Now, what you're gonna do? Help your hips down a little bit. Too far over. No. Okay. Yeah. Relax that. Okay. As you can bring your hand out.
I can't keep my chest heavy, so he can't get his elbow back.
Take your hand.
Nice grab.
Here.
Wrap around.
Other hand comes out.
Push him over onto his elbow. As soon as I do, I want to let go of this and shoot.
Now slide this back.
Grab.
Elbow
And it
into
comes
his chest.
right to the
Now what I want you to do is this. Drop to that shoulder and face his hips. Everything stays tight.
My grips aren't correct. My grips aren't totally correct either.
You're gonna try to relieve that pressure. You might push your head and
I
jump
have
over
to
his
get
body.
used to that.
So that comes over. Break it down.
And then.
Hand comes out. Slide it back. Switch. Face the hips. If he jumps over, go. You alright? Yeah, I'm good. You alright? Yeah, I'm sorry. You're good. So when he rolls over, now, granted, I'm sure he's got a super tight. So if you have it super tight, there's not going to be a lot of, you're going to roll over the body, and if they do that, just fine. Okay? So we're here. Hip side hand comes in. Grab it low. See how I put pressure on his head and shoulder and up his face there? Now, I'm naturally this kind of grip guy, so I have to switch to that. As it's falling, I stick my hand through it, and hand it. I keep it tight up as I'm coming through to get it here. There it is. My goal is to have it choke progressing tighter by the time I get my forearm. You guys, you will try.
No, you're good.
Keep going, Ashton. Turn, belly down, belly down, belly down, belly down, belly down. Let me see.
Bottom elbow to the front. Elbow under chin.
Yes.
Keep going, under chin. Here we go.
I
Enzo just likes it that way, or that's how he was grabbing it. I like the house way.
I'm just gonna keep working.
So one thing I think one of the things that really helped me that I was watching him do, I think if like I rotated my hips, like once you're coming down on the chin, your develop, like you were still flat, but if you rotate, when you call it, yeah, but
Switch that cord problem is. Switch that. We're getting so down. Let your compressor down, start to start. Yeah, you can, because usually you want to be down. Now you slide, never let go.
yeah. That's be one of those things I can do to my W, right?
Switch and drop your elbow down.
I saw one on the wrist too, and it says, go under, you said, instead of going over with you, turn your body, you go under, and then you jog. You know what I'm saying? Like you go under with the lapel,
And it's,
then you walk
it makes
yourself
sense
to the other side.
because you're handing it off to yourself here, right here, so you don't have to move anything. And then you move it and slide it, you never let go.
That one seemed easier to get your land done. Like, the one, so it was like,
Versus it's just.
if I had you here, and you're thinking when you start back,
Don't do that.
and then you switch
Don't try.
to here, and now. Now I think I just start coming over. Grab this. Then as you start pushing the body down,
You start with this, and then chest down, slide, finish.
yeah, I think that takes all the
Bottom of the lapel, it's actually one of the quarters of their head. Then I can spin right.
It's not just
37 ways.
Yeah.
here, trade-off, and then some dips.
So that makes it more. Okay, yes, sir. All right, guys, that was 2 of the 7 different techniques they taught on the first day in 3 hours. And that was like, they would let you drill for a little while, you come together, they teach you more, then you go away, you come back, they teach you more, you go away, you come back, they teach you more, you go away, you come back, they teach you. It was a lot. And then the second day was just as much. So, for some reason, the first day seemed longer. There was a ton of people in there. The second day was no heat. I thought there was going to be more people, it was less. And it seemed to go a lot faster. So,
You had to pay for both days, right? It wasn't one for both.
yeah, you pay for both days. You could pay for both, or you could just do one day.
Okay.
It's up to you. I wanted both days because it was like a half. It was more of a bucket list thing for me to be able to meet Enzo and hear a story. And I know it sounds weird, but unfortunately, well, I won't say unfortunate. I just say the circumstance is this: we're here in this remote area of the United States that doesn't have a lot of these like high-level guys. If you talk to people in New York, they're like, "Why are you freaking out about Enzo? You see him every Tuesday and Wednesday, and we go to class." Or not anymore, but back in the day, he taught classes throughout the week. Danaher taught the beginners classes. All these big names in jiu-jitsu that we know and hear about and learn from online and all that stuff. You gotta understand, certain people saw those people, they signed a waiver in front of these guys. You know what I mean? And they've done nothing but train with these guys from the beginning. But for the rest of us who haven't been exposed to that or have that resource available close by, we learn from them from a distance and we get to meet them. And I think it's great. I think that's one of the most beautiful parts about jiu-jitsu is that this art is still so young. We can meet the highest people in the world. We can get them to come to our academies, give them the right amount, and they will teach a private lesson. They will teach a full seminar. You pick any other sport, you are never touching the highest of the high in those sports. No matter how much money you got, you're probably not gonna get it. You might get a meet and greet, but they're not gonna invite you to an open gym or a field day or whatever it is they do. You're not playing catch with Derek Jeter. It's not happening. So, but you have, in our sport, we get legends like Gracie's. You can go and meet the newest of the new people. You can have, you know, what's his name, Jeff Glover come here. You can have Eli Knight, who's not a competitor, but just a really inclined to jiu-jitsu come in and help explain things. So take advantage of it, guys, if you can. I know it can be pricey sometimes, but if you have somebody that you want to learn from, you hear they're in town, reach out to that academy and go. The Studio 8 was very welcoming. Everybody was amazing. Nobody gave us a dirty side eye. We've been to places where we got dirty side eyes from people who said we could come to their tournament, their seminar, and they all looked at us like we were some kind of, you know, weirdos that how did you get your way in here? But long story short, Studio 8 was good. Black Hat, equally as cool. You get a chance to meet these people and learn stuff from them, you'll definitely get that. My last seminar was with J-Rod, Enzo, and Al. J-Rod was showing some crazy cool new wave guard passing, half guard passing to this, to that, high ground stuff that's like new and innovative. Enzo and Hal showed you jiu-jitsu, old school elbows, wrist locks, grinding, crush your neck type stuff. Learn from everyone, and then get to meet these guys to see, because they'll learn some stuff. You'll see why they say these guys are tough. During the demonstrations we would have, and they came around, they sat down, and you asked them to help, they would watch you do it. They weren't just like walking around 2 feet above the ground. Like they would come over. If they saw you messing up, they correct you. No, come here, let me show you. Matt tried to get me murdered. He told Hal, he goes, yeah, hey, he said that wouldn't work on him. And Hal goes, hey, I look at him, I can tell he's lying. I said, he is lying. He always does that to me. And he just started laughing and everything. But even, you know, I always have it, I'm terrible when I meet people like black belts and stuff. I say the stupid stuff. I do stupid things. I'm an idiot when it comes to these people, but there was a move that they were saying this and Matt kept doing to me, and I found a way to maneuver myself out of it. And then I would come around and I was like, Professor, watch this. Tell me what you think. All right. Matt did it. I got out of it. He was like, let me try. All right. That's when I said, full hop. He tried it. I got out, but he was still on top mount, or half guard, or not, side control. He ended the side control. He was trying. He got side control with me. I went, he goes, you got out, but I'm still on side control. Though I was like, yes sir, thank you. That was it. He didn't kill me. I thought it was gonna be the wheelchair. You know anything about Al Gracie? He's not the most friendly Gracie. But other than that, guys, get to meet him, talk to him. At the end of it all, they were leaving. Kenzo's sitting there, he was signing people's belts. I was thinking about having him sign my black belt. Then I thought, I'm a grown man. What am I gonna have another grown man sign my black belt? I don't know, it's a little weird. So I said, nah. I was like, picture, and he was like, come sit down. He sat down, I sat next to him. He started telling me stories. He was like putting his hand around me. He was just like, everything you hear about Enzo, like you hear Danaher, you hear Lex Friedman, you hear Joe Rogan, and everybody talk about Enzo. For some weird reason, Enzo is that guy. He'll meet you, he is friendly, but he also has that air of don't mess around. But he is about just as charismatic as the day is long. I don't think that man's ever met somebody other than Sakuraba that he didn't like. Feet together, it's about but like I said, guys, if you get the chance to, go do it. If it's not for the technique, it's for the meet and greet guys, so you can say you met some greats. Would recommend.